2 years ago, my father passed away, and at the time, I expected the loss to bring many challenges for me and our family. I assumed I would be the one facing the toughest part of it, since I was older and seemed more prepared to take on the responsibilities that come with such a deep loss. But as time has gone on, and I've had the chance to reflect, I've come to realize that my little brother is actually the one most at risk in our situation. He was only 7 years old when our father died, and I often find myself wondering how different his life might have been if our father were still here. I can't help but imagine what kind of person he could have been under our father's guidance, how his growth, dreams, and understanding of the world might have been shaped by that presence. In many ways, I feel like he has missed out on something crucial, especially at such a young and formative age. While I was able to navigate the pain of losing a father as an older child, my brother has had to grow up without the same kind of male role model and support. In Aroma region in Ethiopia, there are 56% of adolescents who are found to be emotionally immature. This immaturity leads to social media attachment and unplanned pregnancies, which also results in insufficient maturity to effectively raise a child. In Tamil Nadu, India, there are 74% of adolescents who are found to have an extreme emotional immaturity, and there are 16% who are also found to be emotionally immature. These teenagers have an impacted emotional maturity which lead to for them to become an intensive social media users, putting their behaviors and emotions in a vulnerable state. In the Philippines, it was found that children of overseas Filipino workers or OFWs who are left behind by their parents are having problems in their emotional maturity, which results in the feeling and their experiencing loneliness and emptiness. Moreover, it was found that Filipino adolescents who are emotionally immature are more aggressive and tend to become involved in illegal activities. Moreover, in Davao del Norte, specifically in Asuncion District, male students of Sagayan National High School admitted that they have problems in emotional expression, which results to their low emotional maturity. Ladies and gentlemen, my study is entitled Father Involvement vis-a-vis Emotional Maturity, Male Students Without a Father Figure in Focus, which has a research objectives, namely to describe the level of father involvement in terms of father image, academic support, effective communication, and disciplinary behaviors. Number 2, to describe the level of emotional maturity in terms of emotional stability, emotional progression, social adjustment, personality integration, and independence. Number 3, to determine the significant relationship between father involvement and emotional maturity of male students. Lastly, number 4, to determine which domain of father involvement significantly affects the emotional maturity of male students. Our research hypothesis is that there is no significant relationship between father involvement and emotional maturity. Next is there is no domain of father involvement that significantly affect the emotional maturity of male students. The proposition of Yuandong Shang and Yuying Xu in their study entitled Father Involvement in Parenting Questionnaire and Rating for Middle School Students stated that father involvement affects the development of the children in many aspects. They also stated that positive father involvement helps in the formation of positive emotion and positive outlook in life. Moreover, father involvement helps in cultivating the child's ability to regulate, adjust, and improve their own emotions. Moreover, the adaptamang study entitled Study Involvement and Emotional Maturity of Senior High School Students of Sikkim stated that emotional maturity of individuals is considered as an important factor in their learning process. He further stated that emotional development helps in the behavior process and handling a reasonable amount of frustrations. Lastly, John Bowlby's attachment theory in 1958 suggests that early relationships, especially between infants and their primary caregivers, influence a person's social and emotional development. Their caregivers serve as a secure base from which the child can explore the world. If the child feels confident that their caregivers will be available and responsive, they feel safe to explore their environment. Moreover, he proposed that early interactions with caregivers form a mental representation, or what we call internal working model, of how a relationship works. This internal working model influences the people on how to perceive and respond to others. Additionally, Bowlby believed that the quality of attachment formed during childhood plays a critical role in shaping how people interact in future relationships, how they view themselves, and how they cope with stress that is essential for the development of their emotional maturity. This figure illustrates the relationship between the independent variable, which is the father involvement, with four indicators, namely father image, academic support, effective communication, and disciplinary behaviors, and the dependent variable with five indicators, namely emotional stability, emotional progression, social adjustment, personality integration, and independence. The arrow in the conceptual paradigm indicates that father involvement influences emotional maturity. This suggests that the level of involvement a father has in his child may significantly impact the child's emotional development. This research will use the quantitative non-experimental design with a descriptive correlational technique to examine the relationship between father involvement and emotional maturity. This design offers insightful quantitative data that is useful in research and projection. This method will describe any existing correlation and determine the direction and magnitude of such a relationship if present. The study was conducted in Region 11, specifically in the district of Asuncion, Davao del Norte. As indicated by the 2015 census, it has a population of 59,322 with a land region of 297.39 kilometers squared. There are 58 male students from Sagayan National High School whom they do not have a father figure which is involved in this study. So this 58 male student consists of 8 grade 7 students, 9 grade 8 students, 10 grade 9 students, 8 grade 10 students, and another 8 students from the grade 11 department, and 15 male students from the grade 12 department. Mean was used to measure the level of father involvement and the level of emotional maturity. This will be utilized for objectives 1 and 2. Person R was used to determine the significant relationship between father involvement and emotional maturity. Hence, this was used and utilized for question number 3. Last is regression analysis. This was used to determine which domain of father involvement significantly influences emotional maturity. 1 provides detailed information on the level of father involvement, categorizing it into 4, which is father image, academic support, affective communication, and disciplinary behaviors. As you can see, 3 out of 4 indicators have a moderate level of measurement, and 1 of them has a low level of measurement. The highest is father image with a mean score of 3.23, followed by disciplinary behaviors with a mean of 2.97, affective communication with a mean of 2.63, and academic support with a mean of 2.57 with a descriptive equivalent of low. The average level of father involvement among male students at Cagayan National High School is considered moderate at 2.85. The findings suggest that most fathers are generally involved in their sons' lives. However, this involvement is not consistent. There are times that they are more involved, and there are times that they are really not involved or present in the male student's life. Moreover, in Table 2, this presents the breakdown of emotional maturity levels in 5 parts, which is the emotional stability, emotional progression, social adjustment, personality integration, and independence. The highest level of maturity is seen in social adjustment with a mean score of 3.22. This is followed by personality integration with a mean of 3.14, independence with a mean of 3.12, and emotional stability with a mean of 3.10. Lastly, emotional progression has a mean of 2.98. All 5 indicators fall under the moderate descriptive equivalent. The average level of maturity among male students at Cagayan National High School is considered moderate at 3.11. The moderate level of emotional maturity among male students suggests that they are making steady progress in their emotional development. This implies that male students are experiencing a balanced level of development in terms of their emotional aspect. Table 3 shows a weak correlation between father involvement and emotional maturity, as demonstrated by the R value, which is 0.39. This suggests that generally emotionally mature male students are somewhat able to adjust socially, integrate their personality, be independent, and make progress in their emotions. The coefficient of determination, which is the R squared, has a value of 0.1521, which implies that there is approximately 15.21% of the variation in father involvement can be attributed to emotional maturity. This result emphasizes the significant role of father involvement in fostering emotional maturity. However, we must also acknowledge the influence of other factors such as environmental characteristics, biological and hormonal changes, peer relationships, and the educational environment. Lastly, in Table 4, The findings presented underscore the significant impact of father involvement on the emotional maturity of male students. The p-values for each indicator of the independent variable are all below 0.05, which means that the null hypothesis is rejected and all these indicators are significant. As you can see, father image and academic support has the same p-value, which is 0.03, and effective communication and disciplinary behaviors with 0.00. As a result, all the null hypotheses of these variables are rejected, further supporting their critical role in fostering emotional development. Thus, this study emphasizes that fathers play an essential role in helping male students recognize and develop their emotional maturity, ultimately contributing to their overall personal growth and well-being. So this is the summary of our findings. So number 1, the level of father involvement among male students has an overall mean of 2.85, indicating a moderate level. Next is the level of emotional maturity among male students has an overall mean of 3.11, also indicating a moderate level. Number 3, a statistically significant relationship exists between father involvement and emotional maturity, with a probability value of 0.00, leading to the rejection of the null hypothesis. And lastly, there is a significant evidence to reject the idea that father involvement does not impact emotional maturity, as the calculated probability value of 0.00 is below the 0.05 significance level. Our conclusion is that the level of father involvement is moderately evident. The level of emotional maturity is also moderately evident, and there is a significant relationship between father involvement and emotional maturity. Lastly, father image, academic support, effective communication, and disciplinary behaviors are significant in predicting the emotional maturity of male student. And now we come to our recommendations. And first, fathers should attend parent-teacher meetings and communicate regularly with teachers, because by participating in parent-teacher meetings, they can gain insight into their children's academic progress and any challenges they might be facing, allowing them to provide more targeted support at home. Next is the Department of Education, or the DepEd, should strengthen the personal development subject in the K-12 curriculum, because this subject plays a critical role in helping students develop skills for managing emotions, cultivating empathy, forming healthy relationships, and making thoughtful decisions. Next is fathers should spend quality time with their sons. So fathers should deepen their connection and involvement with their sons through various actions that promote emotional growth. They could spend quality time by engaging in shared activities like playing sports or hobbies they enjoy, which fosters emotional bonding and allows fathers to model healthy behaviors. Next is the government should fund fatherhood programs. This should focus on parenting skills, including childcare, communication, and supporting education at home. These programs would help fathers become more involved in their children's education, improve their self-image as positive role models, and foster a supportive learning environment. Moreover, the government, in partnership with the Department of Education, or DepEd, should strengthen family-centered events like Kainang Pamilya Mahalaga Day, under Proclamation number 326 series of 2012. By supporting such initiatives, this can create a supportive environment for families to communicate openly and meaningfully, especially in the context of father-child relationships. This can offer opportunities for families to participate in activities that promote unity, mutual understanding, and emotional connection, which are crucial for healthy development, especially for children in their formative years. Another one is that the government should approve the Positive Parenting of Children's Act, currently under consideration in the Senate and House of Representatives. This parenting bill is authored by Senator Risa Hontiveros, Representatives Angelica Natasha A. Co, and Bernadette Herrera D. This seeks to establish a legal framework for promoting positive parenting strategies in Filipino families. These approaches, which emphasize discipline based on understanding and emotional support rather than harsh punishment, are crucial in fostering well-rounded, resilient, and emotionally secure children. Another one is that schools should integrate social-emotional learning into the Edukasyong Pagpapakatao curriculum under DepEd Order number 71 series of 2009. This DepEd order primarily targets elementary education, but strengthening its implementation could greatly benefit male students in particular. Integrating SEL at an early age helps children, especially boys, who often face challenges in expressing emotions, develop the tools they need for better social interaction, adjustment, and emotional regulation, which will further lead to emotional maturity. The last is my proposed title, which is Navigating Education and Emotion, a phenomenological study of fathers' roles in their children's academic and emotional growth. Once again, I am Kimberly Giselle Oshal from Sagayan National High School.